Duke Ludwig stared at Cliff with a confused expression, questioning how his son could so easily disregard his responsibilities as the young duke. His voice carried frustration as he reminded Cliff of his irresponsibility. Cliff had even delegated an important royal visit to Killian, simply because Lise wanted to avoid the palace. Instead of fulfilling his duty, Cliff had accompanied her on a leisurely stroll in a garden outside the capital. Duke Ludwig's disappointment deepened as he pointed out how Killian, who had no desire to inherit the title, carried the family name with honor. Meanwhile, Cliff, who claimed to want the position, seemed incapable of protecting the very family he wished to lead. Reflecting on his own mistakes, the Duke assumed that ambition and capability were necessary to produce a worthy successor. Thus, he decided that, starting today, the position of heir would officially be vacant. Cliff was stunned. He had always been first in line, and the announcement felt like a heavy blow. His protest was cut short when the Duke drew his sword and struck it into the floor. This was no longer a discussion, but a final chance. The Duke's last opportunity for Cliff to prove himself worthy of inheriting the title, just as the Duke himself and his predecessors had done. The Duke then explained that news of a recent rebellion had spread, making the western border unsafe. Knights had been dispatched to eliminate the traitors, and Cliff would join them. He had to return alive, with remarkable achievements, so great that even his father would be forced to acknowledge his abilities. Despite the disbelief and frustration clouding his mind, Cliff left the room, questioning everything. He had always excelled effortlessly, earning respect and praise with minimal effort. The only thing he had truly fought for was Lise's heart. Lise was the only thing that truly mattered to him. Suddenly, a wave of panic washed over Cliff as he realized he had no idea where Lisa was. Worried that his mother might still be interrogating her, he hurried to find Lisa. Ignoring the knights assigned to follow him, he ordered them to stay behind. But they refused, as Duke Ludwig's orders were clear, to watch the young duke at all times. Elsewhere, Choi Soo-na became aware that she was dreaming. Her last memory was crying in Killian's arms, yet now she found herself in a place she could only enter in dreams. Before her, a mysterious door appeared and slowly opened. Driven by curiosity, she stepped inside and entered a beautiful garden. In the center of the garden sat the original Edith, calmly sipping her tea. Choi Soo-na hesitated before finally sitting across from her. Unsure of how to begin, she asked how Edith had been and whether she knew why she had ended up here. The original Edith explained that Choi Soo-na was a soul who had recently died and been brought into this world. She was the 13th soul to inhabit Edith's body, and the 14th guest summoned into this world. Hearing this, Choi Soo-na realized that the original author of the story was not the real Reese, but someone who had possessed Race's body. She wondered if the original author's life had also been in danger, just like hers. Gazing into her teacup, the original Edith revealed that the author was not in danger. This world had been created by someone, a world destined to repeat the same narrative endlessly, bound by an unchangeable fate. Edith admitted that she had summoned the original author because only the author had the power to free them. Edith believed that if the author could witness and feel the suffering of the people in this world, she would change the story's course for the better. However, the original author turned out to be someone lacking compassion. The original Edith reflected that things might have been different if she had been able to have a normal conversation with the author from the beginning. However, strict constraints prevented her from speaking or giving hints to the author or any guests in this world. Knowing that the original author came from a world free of such restrictions, Edith considered borrowing power from another person. Eventually, she summoned souls from another world and lent them her body. After 12 failures, she finally succeeded. As a character bound by the constraints of the story, Edith could do nothing to break free from its rules. She also could not escape unless this world was liberated, something she deemed impossible. When Choi Soo-na finally asked if Edith intended to reclaim her body, Edith dismissed the question, comparing it to similar inquiries from others. Choi Soo-na grew curious about whom Edith was referring to and insisted that the body rightfully belonged to Edith in the first place. Observing Choi Soo-na, Edith reflected on her own nature. She admitted that she was only capable of causing destruction. Rather than offering comfort and aid, she dragged people into darkness and despair. On the other hand, Choi Soo-na always exuded confidence, yet could be sweet and warm. She was mature and sincere, always prioritizing others. Choi Soo-na tried to assure Edith that she, too, could change, but Edith had already made up her mind and had no intention of trying again. She decided to leave, saying that she had a long-awaited meeting. Before departing, she promised to return Choi Soo-na to her body and warned her never to seek her out again. Choi Soo-na could only watch as Edith walked away, leaving her to wake up in her body once more. Killian, who had been beside her, gently woke her, worried that she had been having a nightmare. Overcome with emotion, Choi Soo-na clung to Killian tightly, silently thanking Edith in her heart. Meanwhile, Cliff rushed through the underground prison corridors, ignoring the knights chasing after him. His heart pounded as he found Reese. She was sitting on the floor with her back to him, silent and unmoving. Desperation gripped Cliff as he called out to Reese, fearing for her condition. He tried to reassure her that he was there now, that he did not care what his parents thought, and he begged her to come back to him. All right, that's the discussion for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you have corrections or other opinions, feel free to share them in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.